On today's IRS tax refund update, we will take a look at the latest developments, including the release date for the next batch of tax refunds scheduled for release by the IRS. Meanwhile, we are continuing to hear from viewers who are experiencing delays in receiving their tax refunds while encountering the 570 and 971 transcript codes. So we will take a look at several different scenarios those impacted by this problem may be facing and what could be expected. Starting out with the latest news, as the next batch of direct deposit tax refunds is scheduled for release on March 19th, as confirmed by the tax transcript seen here, submitted by a viewer whose tax transcript cycle code ends in 04. Now, if you're part of this latest batch, while most will receive the day of if not before, please allow up until March 25th to post to your bank account before initiating a payment trace with the IRS. Also, we are beginning to receive reports from viewers whose transcript cycle code ends in 05 that they are also seeing updates to their transcripts, either with the 846 refund code, the 971 code that follows the 570 code, or even the first data to post to the transcript since filing. For those that see a transcript update, please allow 24 to 48 hours to see an update to your refund status results, as both systems update separately. Based on comments for those still experiencing refund delays, we are seeing a growing number of viewers encountering the 570 and 971 codes on their tax transcripts as seen here since the last massive tax transcript update. Now, if this is happening to you at the moment, you are likely to fall into one of the following three scenarios, which we will recap one by one. Starting off with, if you are encountering these two codes with different dates as seen on this actual viewer transcript shown here, this means the IRS either needs more time to work on the potential issue the computer has found, or they need additional information from you so that tax processing can continue. Now, the 570 code represents the potential issue with your tax return which has been put on hold, while the 971 code represents a notice being sent out. The date listed on the 971 line is the date you should expect to receive that notice in the mail, and in the case of this viewer, it is March 4th. Both the 971 and 570 codes will have a $0 amount on the same line, and that is normal. Now, under this scenario, these are the three likely letters you can expect to receive, starting off with an IRS letter in the CP05 series like this one on the far left, which is a request by the IRS for the taxpayer to prove the income and/or tax withholdings you reported on their tax return. If you receive this letter, it is often a request for copies of pay stubs and the W-2 form you received from your employer. And in cases we have seen, this could in fact be completely random, even if you have never had any previous tax issues. The IRS also will receive a copy of your tax forms from your employer and other businesses, so they may be comparing the two copies for accuracy. The second likely notice some will receive is those who are claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit or Child Tax Credit, which will be the CP12 Notice as seen here, requesting the taxpayer to provide documentation as it relates to their dependents such as a birth certificate, proof of residency, and age. Again, this is usually a random selection, so even if you have been claiming the same dependent for many years, it unfortunately does not mean you are exempt from having to go through this process. Meanwhile, the third likely letter is the 2644C notice, as seen on the far right, which simply indicates the IRS needs additional time to review your tax return, which is often quoted at 60 days. For those who receive this letter, that is not a definite timetable. And as we have reported over the last 2 years, it is possible you may receive multiple 60-day notices while you wait for the IRS to resolve any issue. The second scenario is that you are seeing the 570 and 971 codes on your tax transcripts with the same date listed next to them as seen on this tax transcript. Now, in this case, it means the IRS computer identified a potential issue with your tax return and has auto-corrected the error, which may have resulted in an adjusted tax refund. If this is the case, the letter you are likely to receive is this IRS letter, the CP12 Notice, informing you an error was encountered on the tax return, often a miscalculation which they have addressed, resulting in an adjusted refund. If you agree with the changes, the IRS made no further action is necessary, and you will receive that refund within 4 to 6 weeks. Now, if you disagree with the IRS on the adjustment, you can appeal that and should do so within 30 days. Finally, the third scenario is for those who are just encountering the 570 code on their tax transcript as seen here. In this situation, it means the IRS is currently working on the issue, and no matter the outcome of the situation, you will see a 971 code appear usually after your next tax transcript update. However, there could be instances that after your next transcript update you will see the 571 code that reverses the 570 code along with the 846 refund code without ever receiving a 971 code and ultimately a letter. But those are usually rare instances, and you will likely see the 971 code appear in the same update as the 570 and 846 codes. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.